champions starting right now with our 450B limited classics on the line. And it's so interesting because the weather hasn't changed dramatically from day to day this year like it has in others. We've had years that start muddy and then turn dry, or start dry and then turn muddy. The conditions have been pretty similar throughout, but the results have varied still quite a bit, which shows you how much pressure these riders are under, the types of mistakes that can breed. So here we go. First time this year, we're going to crown some national champs. They're just going to start in this 450B limited division. And Rodney, you can run down. We're doing some math up here. Who's in contention for this?
Well, our contention riders are the 51 of Ezra Hastings coming into this one with a 2-2. Justin Rodbell looking at a 3-1 as the Moto scores of 4. And those riders right now tied, if you will, with 4 as they go into the championship. But 2 riders outside. Likelihood of getting in the possibility of getting a championship include Moto 1 winner Zane Merritt, who took a 5th in Moto 2.
And just grabbed the whole shot and has the lead here. He's got sitting on that 1-5.
That's kind of exactly the way that first Moto happened. He took the first hole shot of the week. I remember making that call, the historic first hole shot of 2017. And he does it here in the third Moto. And this is what set him up for a very convincing Moto 1 win. Second Moto, not as great a start, had a few issues, had to work his way into the number 5 position, but here he is starting out up front in this third one. So command and control, he is at the mercy basically at this particular point of a couple of riders behind him, including the 51 of Ezra Hastings and the 58 of Justin Rodbell.
Well, Hastings might be the guy in the best position. He looks to be getting around that number 11 of William Garrison. If he puts that Yamaha up into second and they're battling for it, whoa, that was scary. Hastings came together with Garrison, and now feet off the pegs, huge cross rut. He's going to go off the side of the track. I don't know how he held on to that. That's your man right there, Ezra Hastings, who's trying to cling to a podium position, but that was scary, Rodney. That was 2 near misses.
Well, Zane Merritt nearing the completion of this first lap as that 3-way shootout continues back for second. We sorted out as they roll past the finish line now. It is Merritt out front, and he is in control. Oh! Big time get-offs there, and a little slick still. William Garrison getting credit for second place position as the Ezra Hastings third place aboard the number 51. Jonas Smith going down there, the 39 machine. He got 4th place position. Justin Rodbell is 5th as we wrap up the first lap. Trey Fagert in 6th. Dico van der Weiser in the number 7 spot. We got Caleb Carter in 8th spot. The 26, Ryan Martin is 9th. Hunter Schlosser rounding out the top 10. So basically what we're looking at right now, Zane Merritt, as we said, at the mercy of those riders behind him, Hastings and Rodbell, and also Caleb Carter even now. But Zane Merritt, 151, is looking at a score of 7. It is Ezra Hastings looking at a score.
Hastings again, and he's off the track. That is the 4th huge mistake for Ezra Hastings. You think this dude's under some pressure? He's got to get up to 2nd place. He's in 3rd. I don't know how he's been able to keep that thing on 2 wheels.
That's what we were getting ready to say. A 2-2-3 right now ties him with Zane Merritt. If he can break into the 2nd place position, a 2-2-2 will give him a score of 6, and that will win the national championship title. So as we said, Zane Merritt at the mercy of right now Ezra Hastings, and Hastings seems to be actually kind of giving it away at the moment, but he'll recompose himself. It's only the 2nd lap of racing right now, so he's got a little time to settle down, put that charge back on. Well, Garrison is your 2nd place rider on the track right now. Hastings is 3rd. Jonas Smith is 4th. Justin Rodbell, the 58 machine, rounds out your top 5. He's looking at 3rd overall in the championship, but right now he is looking at the 5th place position on the track, and a good ride for him. Some inconsistencies for others have really put this race, I think, into a pretty good position from a race fan standpoint. There's still several people that are in the running for this one.
All right, so you see the 51 coming through. That's Ezra Hastings. Yeah, he's going to have to get his composure back, but if any trainer wants to find out what causes arm pump, just watch that first lap and a half. You're under a pressure situation, and the track is slick and muddy, and 4 times you cross rut and go off the track. How nervous, worried does this dude have to be? And he can't just sit there in 3rd. He has to go after the number 11 of Garrison. They almost crashed into each other twice while he was trying to make the move in the first lap. Then he and Jonas Smith crashed. Smith went down. Hastings managed to keep it up right again. But this is going to be tough, Jimmy, to regain his composure, settle down, and go back after the second-place rider. And there it is, that second-place rider, the 11 of William Garrison.
Look at William Garrison. I believe he's out there in, second place.
He's looking at
23. Two Moto scores, a 23-14. Now just out with the glory running.
What?
In Moto number 3, going to collect a silver medal if he keeps it up. Now that is awesome to see.
Hey, Jimmy, break this down, man. Rodney mentioned all the rain we had this morning. We're seeing riders cross-running and getting sideways all over the place. What are the track conditions like right now?
You know, I was down there pretty close to it. You would think that it is just completely deep and nasty, but they're getting down to that slippery base. And we saw this triple right after the finish line jump eat up a kid in the schoolboy class. Now going after guys in the 450B, one of the other guys going down pretty hard over it as well. What's happening? People think that they're just going to sink into it, but it's got a hard base. They're sliding up the faces. And a lot of these guys are running that scoop tire because it's muddy. So as soon as it gets down to the hard base, with that scoop tire, it will not hook up on the hard packed dirt. So it's kind of a little bit of give and take. You can get a good start with the scoop.
Yeah.
But you cannot control the slick conditions.
No, and if that bike starts going side to side with the scoop tire, you just look at it with the knobs going straight across.
It's really one of those things. Would you rather get a bad start or would you rather fall down once? Right? Way the bad
I honestly
with the bad.
I think dudes would trade anything for the start.
Oh, for
Take
sure.
9 crashes.
I'm the same way. If I can pull the whole shot any way possible, I will forget about the rest of the race.
Well, I was seeing some scoop tires yesterday when it wasn't even muddy. A couple riders up on the podium winning motos with it, probably primarily just to get the start. Something new here. Haven't seen a lot of sand tires at this track, but it has been that deep and rough this year. Now they're trying it because it's muddy, but that bike starts going side to side. Those scoop tires do not have the side bite because the tread goes straight across. They're great in a straight line, but you start making mistakes, you're going to be in trouble. And that's what all these guys are dealing with. Hastings has at least calmed down a bit. Garrison in second has made some bobbles. Hastings is closing in on him. But we've got another factor. Rodney, another guy in title contention has moved up to 4th and has Hastings in his sights.
Justin Rodbell riding on that number 58 machine as we roll into this one right now. As you take a look at his scores, he's looking at a 3-1-4 right now. He has now got 8 points. So if he moves up, he will then tie make that a 3-way tie if he gets one more position on Hastings. And then if he gets around Hastings and around Garrison, then all of a sudden we're looking at Justin Rodbell being in championship contention. And again, Zane Merritt is at the mercy of everything that's going on behind him right now.
He should be number Racer X out on the track right now, William Garrison, because he is the X factor in this one. Out of the championship at this point, but he can sure shake so many things up. If I'm Zane Merritt's mechanic, I am cheering on William Garrison because that is going to be the only hope for Zane Merritt to grab this championship.
Yeah, what a spoiler. How do you get that? How do you get those scores? Can you go 23, 14, 2?
Mud is the great equalizer, Weege.
He got to start. He's avoided the mistakes. Here's Hastings trying to settle in. He better, because Rodbell's coming. If Rodbell passes Hastings for 3rd, he will jump Hastings in the standings, but he would still lose to Zane Merritt. So Hastings has to pass 1 rider. Rodbell has to pass 2. If neither of them pass anybody, Zane Merritt's going to win it with a 1-5-1. So 3 riders with a shot at the title. This is exactly what we've been talking about. This is what we're hoping for.
Yeah, and as it comes down to it, you're going to see I think the weight of this championship for all 3 of these riders start to bear down on them. Zane Merritt, though, he is doing all that he can do, and that is maintain a 13.7 second lead over Garrison. And Hastings, you see that he's making the push. He's already clipped away another little over half second, 0.6 of a second or so. It's down now to a 1.1 second gap between the 3rd and 2nd place position riders. Justin Rodbell is only 1.7 seconds back as well. He's running right there in the same time frame. So these next couple laps are very critical and very crucial as far as what's going to be taking place and mistakes. You got to stay away from the mistakes. Garrison's got to quit making mistakes. Ezra Hastings can't make a mistake. Justin Rodbell cannot make a mistake right now. Zane Merritt can afford a little bit of a mistake, but nothing monumental.
It's tightening up. It looks like Hastings has caught Garrison in the battle for 2nd. If he makes his pass, the championship is his. If he doesn't, your Moto winner, Zane Merritt, will win the title. Oh, Garrison, big mistake. He got it side to side. This is Hastings' shot, Rodney, around the outside.
Around the outside, he rolls now toward the Suzuki Waterworks in a side-by-side drag race now as they take that left-hand turn under the Suzuki banner, and we've got ourselves a new second-place rider, Ezra Hastings now looking at a 2-2-2 if he can hang on to it to the checker flag, and that is the national championship in this 450B limited class. So again, Zane Merritt's 151 is a 7, a 222 is 6, and Merritt again at the mercy right now of the 51 of Ezra Hastings.
And don't count out Rod Bell here. He saw what Hastings did. He knows he's got to go forward. Now he's trying to pass the 11 of Garrison around the outside, the 58 machine. He's got to get both of these guys, and then he will be the national champion. So much on the line right now. It's all in your picture. Rod Bell's going to try it. He's on the outside. He's going to get squeezed off by Garrison. Now he's going to try that outside. Rod Bell bringing some heat, but Garrison holding him off. Right now, Ezra Hastings on the right side of your screen. He is in control of the championship. Rod Bell's got to get the number 11, and then he's got to get the 51 of Hastings as well. 2 laps to go, Jimmy. 3 laps to go. Okay, no 2-lap card yet.
2-lap card next time around.
Oh, man. This is where it starts to get troublesome. The late waning stages.
Rod Bell's got him. Rod Bell's got him. He's moved up to 3rd. So they've dropped William Garrison off the podium. And this battle that you're seeing now, that's 2nd and 3rd place, that's going to settle it all. Woo, what a battle. Zane Merritt, meanwhile, he's out front on that number 29 KTM. Nothing he can do. Oh! Crossing over lines. Bikes are starting to steam.
William Garrison not wanting to give up on this one. He wants to collect a medal before he leaves the ranch. And that is probably going to be all the motivation he needs, but he is just rolling straight through the Ten Commandments, taking it one at a time. That's going to put him out of it, but now we have the fight for the championship. These guys are going to be going at it. Zane Merritt can't control his own destiny at this point. It's between Hastings and Garrison.
Well, right now you can see that Hastings seems to be controlling that number 2 position as we see 2:15 lap time last time around. Now, the gap between 1st and 2nd, it doesn't matter. It's 20 seconds. What we're watching right now, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place positions. Rod Bell has gotten into that number 3 position. You start doing the math on that one now. That puts him with a 7 score, and all of a sudden it needs to be the fact that if he can make the pass on Ezra Hastings, that will give him the point that he needs, I believe, to take him down to the 6 score and put him in position for the championship. So Zane Merritt, his biggest hope right now is these two get together, take each other out, and he gets the sail home to the championship.
Yeah, if Rod Bell makes the pass and moves to, well, he already has made the pass for 3rd. So he's got 7 points at the moment, and that'll be reflected in the scores the next time they come across, which will be the 2 laps to go sign. Rod Bell has got to catch Hastings. But my question is, if Rod Bell gets Hastings and takes over 2nd, does he win the title, or does that swing it back?
That's a good question right there.
Does that swing it back to Merritt?
That might swing it back in the favor of Merritt. So
I think it
go
does.
3-1-2. That would be a score of, see, 3 and 1 is 4 and 2 is 6. No, yeah, it would.
No. Rod Bell is 7 right now. If he gains 1 point, he'll go to 6. Merritt, the best Merritt can do is a 7.
Right.
So this is it.
The battle for the championship.
Yep. Rod Bell has got to catch and pass Hastings. Whoever wins that battle for 2nd is your champion, unless they both go down, and then it goes to Merritt.
Exactly. So waiting with bated breath right now, and I'm sure there's a lot of folks that are holding their breath through these final 2 laps. Hopefully it's not our riders out there, because if they do, then we'll see the fatigue really start to set in. But I'm sure there's some mechanics, moms and dads and supporters right now just holding their breath, waiting to see what this final lap and a half is going to do as far as scoring is concerned in this first overall championship of 2017 through our 450B limited class here at Loretta Lynn's. 6 laps down, working on 7. Our 8th lap, I believe, will be the final lap. Lap times reflective of the conditions this morning at a 2:07.238 as the fastest lap. A little moisture today, a little bit more mud, but not nearly as bad as what it could be. We got rain there late yesterday evening. We got rain early this morning, but all in all, we've been very fortunate with the weather circumstances, and we are looking at a great racetrack that has produced some great racing already this morning, this being the third race on the track today as we begin the third motos here on this Friday. Into the heart of this race course, there is Ezra Hastings, the rider in second place, 20 seconds behind Zane Merritt, but ahead in points in the national championship. Behind him, the 58 machine, as we see him sneaking into the same shot. Justin Rodbell, 3.6 seconds back a lap ago. As we wrap up lap number 7, it's 1.9 seconds, so the gap nearly cut in half there. And Rodbell on the gas here as we roll through these final moments and look for the possibility of a new champion or being crowned. So right now it is Hastings, but it could be Rodbell if things go in his favor. And right now that 1.9 second gap is just enough to keep him in favor. As we roll down the short chutes under the Red Bull, now up through to the Cometic Bowl turn into the GoPro 10 Commandments. Hastings riding very consistent right now. He seems like a man on a mission, not pushing the envelope, yet not relinquishing much speed either as he keeps the hammer down, but at the same time not too much. As Jimmy Albertson pointed out, not a lot of rain, but the mud has created down into, once some of it gets blown off, down into the slick hard pack underneath of this Loretta Lynn facility. There's the 29 of Zane Merritt. He will take the Moto win as he nears the completion of lap number 8 here. And I believe we'll be heading into a white flag lap this time around, if I'm not mistaken. So the closing moments of the 450B still could yield us some excitement here. And there it is, excitement abounding, at least for Zane Merritt, as he looks to at least take a second or a third moto win, his second of the championship, as he is looking at a 1:51 here at the Dude Ranch. Lap number 8 in the history books for Zane Merritt. 22 seconds ahead last time around. Doesn't appear to really be slowing down much, but Hastings and Rodbell, 1.9 seconds separating them at the end of lap number 7 as they roll into the 8th lap. There is Ezra Hastings in. There is Justin Rodbell. And Rodbell, that's what happened. That was the issue. Having that little bobble out there, that took him back 5 seconds behind Hastings and looks like taking him out of the running for the national championship. So Hastings should have a comfortable ride here through the final lap to the championship, as Zane Merritt will have a comfortable ride here through the final lap to the win here in Moto number 3. The overall will look like this if things stay the way they are. Hastings 2.22 for the overall win. Zane Merritt 1.51 for second. Justin Rodbell a 3.13 for third. Caleb Carter 4.34 for fourth. Jackson Hadlow 5.6.15. 5.6.15 scores fifth. Austin Smith 12.87 scores sixth rather. Luke Neese a 10.4.14 will score seventh overall. Jonah Smith 39 a 9.13.10 is eighth overall. Dorico Vander West Hui a 25.96 scores ninth overall, and Hunter Schlosser a 14.12.15 will be 10th overall. When is the last time that you've seen a 25th place and a 9th place and a 6th place score and yield a 9th place overall in the championship and the overall results? I don't know. Nothing ever sticks out in my mind, but wow, what great diversity here in this 450B limited class. A lot of inconsistencies playing favor for some riders out there. Zane Merritt's, though, Ezra Hastings' consistency of 2 wins the championship. A 1.51 wins second overall, and the third moto for the 29 of Zane Merritt. He is certainly pumped, and rightfully so. He now waits to find out the tail of the tape, and if Hastings has no issues here to the checker flag, that will be the championship title for him. Again, it will be 2-2-2 for Ezra Hastings. Score of 6. Zane Merritt 1-5-1 for 7. That's still an outstanding ride and a great comeback for the number 29. Rod Bell 3-1-3. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a change there. That's the way they score in. That's the overall. The Moto sees Merritt, Hastings, and Rod Bell. The championship sees Hastings, Merritt, and Rod Bell in that order. So they kind of flip-flop it around there. As we look back to the number 4 spot here in Moto 3, Caleb Carter, Austin Smith in 5th, 6th place Jackson Hadlow, then Luke Neese, John Smith, and down at the Race Tech podium, Jason Wygant.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get Ezra Hastings up here quick as a double Moto winner this week. Obviously, he doesn't need us to tell him that second Moto is where it got away, but only by a hair. Going to end up losing the title by 1 point. So it's very bittersweet right now. He's a little emotional because obviously anytime you win a Moto at Loretta's, let alone 2, that's something to be excited about. But at the same time, he knows the championship was so close yet so far. Going to miss it by 1 point. But we got to get him back up here so he can thank some people. He's got a whole shot check coming his way, and then we'll have to clear the decks for the championship machine. Let's bring him on up to the podium. These guys, I don't know if it's the emotions. I think it's just the mud. These guys, they're absolutely covered right now, and he's just trying to get cleaned up. And remember, this is a dude that had the whole shot. All right, he's bummed. He knows that the title might have swung his way if a thing had broken a little bit differently. But we've seen time and time again at this race, you learn from the mistakes, and they come back stronger for it. This will be a name to remember in the future. 2 Moto wins this week. Sure, he wanted the championship, but this is something you can build on. This is something you can learn from. Let's hear it for the number 29, also with the Bell Helmets Whole Shot Award. 2 Moto wins for Ezra. Let's hear it for Zane Merritt. There we go. Zane Merritt has the 1st and 3rd Motos in this class. Zane, you knew what you had to do. You had to get out front. You had to win it. You did your job at least.
Yeah, I mean, I got the whole shot, and then I just wanted to pretty much, I know I blew the race at 2nd Moto. I tried making a pass on Ezra Hastings, and I ended my brains out. But, I mean, I came back strong and made my way from 12th back to 5th, and then I just wanted to make a statement in this Moto. So,
in the long run, 2 gold medals hanging on the mantle will be pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean, my whole goal this year was to win this class at least 1 time on the podium and do top 5 overall in my other class. And so far, I exceeded all my goals this whole year. So I just can't ask for a better year, and can't wait for next year. I'm going to really make a statement.
Excellent. Who do you want to thank, man?
Yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out to Scott, Bell, Monster Army, SLM, Answer, Tamer, Ethica, FMF, Elusive Gloves, EVS, Underground, my trainers, Zach Mashburn, Kyle Regal, Heath Harrison, and just like my dad, Lord Jesus Christ, everybody that helps me out at Underground, my personal trainer, Stephanie, and Parker's always helped me out in the gym, and just everybody, thank you so much. I couldn't appreciate it more. Oh, and Power Band, and my mechanic, Ashton Fitzgibbon.
Awesome. Let's hear it for Zane Merritt, your Moto winner and your whole shot artist in 450B Limited. Great job, Zane. We will have to clear the decks of his number 29, and we have to bring the championship machine on up. We'll also talk to our 3rd place finisher in this one. So let's bring up Rod Bell, who takes 3rd. Well, this is what we're hoping to see when we get down to championship day with the 3 Moto format. All 3 of these riders had a shot at it. It basically came down to 1 point between 3 riders. Had Justin Rod Bell made the pass, the title could have been his. He was in contention as well. He ends up taking the bronze. Let's hear it for Justin Rod Bell. Just move up here. Hey, we got to bring the 51 machine on up. Bring the 51 machine up to the podium. All right, Justin. First of all, a championship battle is difficult enough, but the track didn't make it any easier. You guys were all over the place.
Yeah, I honestly don't know really what happened out there. I didn't ride my best, and no excuses. So I did what I could, but it wasn't what I needed to do.
That's all right, man. You're still up on the podium at Loretta's. You're in the mix. You want to thank some people?
My mom, my dad, Traders Racing, Accurate Pest Control, MX Solutions, 100% 6D at Vexia MX, Greg Duffy, Austin Tuskoff, you know, limited decal. Anyone else I forgot? Thank you.
There it is, Justin Rodbell. Job well done. Finishing up in third. Well, it was cut and torn for everyone. Ezra Hastings made his share of mistakes. Everybody in this class did. That's what happens when you're pushing the pace on a muddy morning moto with all the pressure. But he did what he needed to do. He settled down. He corrected the errors. He ended up finishing second under pressure. And with that second place finish, it's enough to clinch our first national championship of the year. Let's hear it for Ezra Hastings. I'm telling you what, man, that first lap, we saw 4 near crashes. How did you settle down, get back into it, and then make passes?
I slowed down to get my pace going, and then about midway I started picking it back up, and it paid off.
How nervous did you get those first couple laps? Because you had to make some moves, and things weren't looking great at first.
I wasn't really nervous other than them 4 or 5 wrecks I about had, but other than that, it was good.
Awesome, man. Did you know late in the game where you were? Did you know that you had it? Did you know that Rod Bell was there? Did you know what was going on?
I knew Zane was in front of me, and I had to finish behind him, and I knew I couldn't let Justin pass me, and that's what I did.
That's some serious pressure.
Yep.
Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank Axo, Ben Riddle, my dad, Custom Power Sports, Williams Performance, Elusive, Mathis Moto Mart, Donnie Luce at Yamaha, Scott Plessinger, my dad for getting me here and doing everything, Oakley, and everyone else. Thank you. Or Lincoln Max. Thanks.
And now we will bring Mike from the AMA up to hand out the #1 plate. Our first national champion of 2017. Let's hear it for Ezra Hastings.
Good job, baby. Good job.
That's what it's all about, championship day, and 3 riders with a shot at it, swinging back and forth every single lap, and also some tough conditions, which is a trademark of this event. You got to be able to do it in the rain. You got to be able to do it in the heat. We had some days with absolutely perfect conditions, but the bottom line is Ezra Hastings, with consistency, takes the championship. We're set for another set of championship motos. I'm going to send it back up.